Hello everyone. So as promised, um, I'm gonna do a small video about Figma, and now I'm using it to accomplish the mud maps in our PDC. So let's get started. So the cool thing about Figma is that it's a free program, free application. Uh, there are two ways that you can work. You can work in your desktop in an application, or you can use it in a browser. And I think in a browser is the possibility of working online with more than uh, one person. So in the same document, so you see the mouth of the other person in your desktop doing the actions. So let's get started. So another cool feature of this program is that it works in layers. So it's a bit like Photoshop, but well, in a very simple, rudimentary way. So let's give a name to this. So exercise PDC. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna import uh, two files to start. One picture from the Google Earth that I previously uh, cut it with a simple paint application, and a topographic map that was given to me, but there are programs that can do that. So let's start. So file, place image. So what we're gonna do is exercise PDC. So this is the topographic map. So it's selected. Okay, so now we have the topographic map. So I'm gonna zoom out. I don't know how you guys do it in Mac, but with Windows it's basically Control and the wheel of the mouse controls the zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so now we have the topographic image. We're gonna rename it. So topo view. Let's call it like this. And what I want now is to get an overlay of the Earth view, bird's view from the Google Earth. So again, file, place image, aerial view. So you have to be careful now because what happens is if I place it on top of this one, you're gonna replace the top of view. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it here. Okay, so I'm not gonna replace nothing. So you can see that there are two layers, and the aerial view is overlaying the top of view. Okay, so if I do the opposite, what happens to these? Okay, so what we want now is to think synchronize the two images. Okay, so let's zoom in so we can have a better view. So we see that we have this building here, we have this building here, but I don't have any other reference. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the aerial view, and we're gonna reduce the transparency, or actually the opposite, increase the transparency. So you're gonna it's okay. So now we have more references. So if we unselect the aerial view, we have here some structures, some houses, some roads, and we're gonna match with the a bit more. I want 40%. Okay, so we have this water container, water tank, whatever you want to call it. It's a bit far away from the two pictures. So you see, I just increased the image, and more or less it's fitting. sometimes it's not that easy, and for sure that I'm not gonna it's not gonna be perfect. So basically, it's an exercise of scale and matching. Whoop, what? Too much. Okay, let's zoom in so we know more or less what's happening. But I need to have access to the image. This is an exercise of patience, basically. Okay, trying to match both images. As you can see, it's more or less matching. Okay, it's not perfect, but more or less. Let me see something here. But you can see the road, it's more or less matching. This road also, it's more or less matching. In the topographic map, you can see that you have more roads here, but this one is not matching so much. So again, this is not for a bureaucratic legalization of the land, so you don't need to be very precise. It's just for the exercise and for you to plan. So more or less, you can drag it. Just put it. Okay, more or less it's like this. You already understood. It's an exercise of patience. So we're gonna move forward. So I'm gonna again put 100%. So now I have this picture and I have the top of view. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna lock both pictures so I don't have the risk of moving the picture and as you can see that it took a little bit of time to match both images. So I'm gonna lock them here, these two key locks or whatever you want to call it. So that's the idea. So now if I want to drag both images, I can't. Okay, it's already blocked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start creating vectors, as you can do also in Google Earth. So I'm gonna select the property margins limits. Zoom out. Okay. So the vector is done. I select the vector and I will rename it. So let's call it limits. Okay. Okay. So if I unselect everything, I already have the limits with the top of view. So now the cool thing starts. So imagine that I will create another vector related with a water tank. So I have this vector, you see. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to put water tank 1. And if I unselect the top of view, I have this. But I want to have the water with the blue color. So I'm going to come here, fill it. So I already start filling it with gray. I will select the color. Could be this one. And that's it. Zoom out. So again, top of view. And I have more water structures here. So zoom in. Okay. Water tank 2. Zoom out. Oh, I did a mistake, sorry. It's not a mistake, but it's something that I don't want to do now. Okay, I selected the stroke. Actually, I want the stroke in black. I just want the fill. The fill is the one that I want in blue. Okay, you can explore a bit the whole thing. Now I want another one. So again, you can see that's another vector starting. Okay, again, fill the blue color that we selected. And water tank 3. So now I will select the top of view. And I have already 3 water tanks here. Now I'm gonna select all of them. So I press Control, I select all of them, group selection, and I group them all. Okay, if I select here, I still have the nomination of designation of these 3 components of the land, and I will rename this group 1 for water management. Okay, so this layer is overlaying all of these other layers, so you can see, and the idea is to match, you see, to match these things, but well, for you to understand. So now I see that I have some buildings here, and we have some here that are hidden. This one here is not part of the land, so you're gonna select these ones. So we're gonna unselect this. You see, this one is not part of the property. So I'm gonna zoom in. Probably these are several buildings, so I select one here. And another one there. So this one, let's call it house, or this is gate house, and this is, well, gate house 2, just for the sake of the exercise. Okay, so again, I want to give it a different color, so more like this. Okay, again. Okay, so these 2, I will select them, group selection, and let's call it buildings. Okay, so that's the main idea. Okay, for you to do the mud map, and then you can extract this in PDFs and wherever. I'm gonna show you some that is a bit more advanced that I'm doing. Let me show you. So this is the one from my farm that I started doing a few days ago, and it's far from being complete, but for you to have an idea. Okay, so this is not all, but some of the components that are in the land. So the buildings, you see, temporary structures, animal management, water, garden, soil management, forest management, fences, roads and pathways, property limits, aerial view, topographic map. I can, for instance, I can take the aerial view and a topographic map, and it's something like this. Or I don't want to see now. I just want to focus on, uh, for instance, having a meeting with someone and talking about the fence system that it's used for mainly animal control. So these are the ones that are in the farm, and basically that's it. can play around. See inside of, let me show you a little bit this one here. So imagine that I want to see only where is the workshop. So the workshop is located here, or house 2. Well, you got more or less the idea. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit of a long video, but if you have questions, I'm still exploring it. I'm still learning about the program and the functionalities. The cool things of it is mainly that uh, working in a team, several people can be doing this work. It's very simple, doing forms and using the pen to select the components. You can be a little bit more artistic, but that's the main idea. Ciao, ciao.